Youth runner here with the gentleman from Herriman, making history today at Nike Cross Nationals. We know the outcome wasn't what they were so driven to accomplish, but in terms of the macro view, they are the first boys team in the 19-year history of this event to be on the podium 3 consecutive years, third, first, and third. No one's taken any of those trophies away. No one has taken the legacy away. And let's talk to Caleb Brown and just be able to identify just how special this group is. Obviously, there's been a lot of hours to reflect. Being able to be in that banquet area. I hope that there's as many thoughts of gratitude and appreciation and sense of achievement. And not as much about what didn't happen over the course of 15 or 16 minutes out there. So, how has that been like for you?
There's been so much gratitude. We understand this. There's been so many sacrifices between each of us all individually as a team to get here, and we really wanted those sacrifices to be worth it to get first. But as we've reflected, we've realized we're happy with what we got. We're content, even though first is what we really wanted. We're content with third, and there's been so many people to help us get here, and we're just so grateful for them.
Awesome, man. Congratulations. Noah, and just, when we look at that group, in the videos, and we look at that group up on the stage, and the fact that every single person in the audience, would love to have one of the years that this group has had, let alone all three. Just how significant and how meaningful is it for you that you're such a huge part of that?
As someone who's done a lot to be on this team, obviously, transferring, it really does mean a lot. I've had so many experiences that I wouldn't have dreamed of having, and so even though we weren't national champions, there was a day when I didn't know what NXN was, and so to go from that to being up there on that podium is really profound, and I don't take it for granted at all. I'm super grateful and super happy for what our coaches and family have sacrificed for us to be here.
I appreciate you highlighting that. The families are the stars behind the scenes. You guys are the stars in front of the cameras. Just to have so many of them here and just their unwavering support from all the way back, in the early races in August in Utah till today. Just how powerful has that been for you and the group?
I don't know, really powerful. Every single meet, we have parents, even parents of athletes who are off on their missions right now will come to the meet. They'll cheer for us, sometimes do race videos. I think it's just really special to have so many people who care about the community, want to provide things to make everyone comfortable and perform their best. It's just, I would say, everything you could ever ask for from a community.
Great job, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Jackson Spencer, individual All-American, top 10, and obviously just such a huge contributor for this group, and we get to have the blessing of watching him even more in track and cross country. But just like I was just saying to Noah, once upon a time you were kind of outside the lens, looking at how special and impactful this group was, and now to be at the core of this, just how profound is this for you to be standing shoulder to shoulder with such amazing guys?
This is insane for me. Last year I was at Syracuse. I had no idea who Herriman was and I didn't know what NXM was that year. It was crazy. So being up here with these boys now, who some of them were national champions last year, it's crazy to be next to them and just be able to run with them and work out with them and just have good times and be friends with them. It's amazing. It's been so fun.
And just you and Caden just can't separate yourself, right? It's just even in a race of 200 guys, you're still gonna find right next to each other, right?
I know. I wasn't expecting that. I thought Caden Evans won that, but yeah, going down the stretch, I looked to the left of me, and I see Caden Evans, and I'm like, oh geez, that's him. I'm
doing something really good right now.
Yeah, I'm actually doing good. So then I just put in my 110% effort to kick past him, and I was able to edge him out on the line. So I'm very happy about it.
Phenomenal job, man. Can't wait for the future. Congrats.
Yeah.
Tayshaun Ogomo. Tayshaun, what's been in my mind ever since leaving Glendoveer Golf Course, and because I appreciate your guys' insight and perspective and your wisdom so much. Do you feel like it's a sense today of what your group, didn't do, or what somebody else did do?
There is that sense of what we could have accomplished and what we could have done, but what we could have done didn't happen, so there's no point in looking back at it. we just got to keep moving. The other teams are amazing. They did what we couldn't do. So, we can't hang our heads over that. We got to be happy about what we were able to accomplish.
But what you have done, like I said, as I shared with you guys, before we were having this wonderful conversation, is when I say that this group and the guys that were, part of the past 2 years teams have done something that no other team, not just from Utah, not just from the Southwest, but ever in the history of that meet. Does that uplift you?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Like, knowing we have a title that nobody else in the history of this meet has is something that can never be taken away. And, we'd also love to have that NXN, but there's always another year. There's always another chance. And right now we have the title of the only team that's went 3 podium finishes consecutively.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In terms of, so many times when we only look at one day, people lose sight of the entire journey, and not just a 1 year journey, but for your guys' entire careers. Just in terms of when Coach Souls came and what this group aspired to be, and now what this group is, where it's the standard, where you guys are going to get everybody's best, race every time, whether it's a Utah peer, whether it's a Southwest peer, whether it's a national peer. Like how proud are you of just? 3 years is a very short window. Like when we're hearing people talking about Coach Lang at Jesuit's been there 55 finals, and and Coach Schwartz at Air Academy's been at 30 finals. Like what this group has done in 3 years, like people sometimes don't accomplish in a half a century. Like how meaningful is that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think if 3 years ago you told me I'd be a little upset of getting third, I'd call you crazy. And it's been a tough day, but looking back, like it's been everything I've ever dreamed of, and like a super successful last 3 years that I'm proud of.
Congratulations. Great job. Eli, how much has this journey just continued to motivate you and excite you for future opportunities?
Yeah, it was very exciting. Basically, like last year I usually wasn't with like the top 7 boys or anything like that, and just being with them just really makes me happy.
How much like when you were watching them in workouts and watching them in races, like it's one thing for Noah at another school to watch and then come. It's another Jackson at another school to come, right? You got to watch it up close every single day. Like to look at it is one thing, now to live it is another. Like how cool is that?
It's very cool. Basically last year I couldn't really be with like any of those boys, but just watching them perform and do really well just really inspires me, and I would really want to be like them. So. Well,
you are, man. A huge reason for why this group is so incredible again this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, just in terms of at the highest moments like last year, and and the days like today, where you really have to look at your brothers, literally in blood, and your brothers on this team, and just realize that it's like, whatever we do, whether we're national champions, whether we're state champions, whether we're third, we're going to do it together. Like just how important has the unity been for this team? Because when you bring in so much new energy year over year, but what hasn't changed is the unity of this team.
Yeah, it's huge. I think one thing that we discussed was we're going to win together and we're going to lose together. Like Noah posted on his Instagram, I saw that like I'm third place, but I wouldn't be on any other team, and like I think that's huge. Like I love these guys, they're my favorite guys, and also like this year being a senior, I get to look back to not just this last race or not this last year, but the past 4 years, and like I think it's huge to be able to be on this team. It's been the best ever.
Well, whether they lived in the state of Utah and they didn't know about Herriman or NXN, but they are now a part of it. They have lived it, they have achieved it, and again, the only group in the 19-year history of this competition. It's not York, it's not Fayetteville Manlius, it's not American Fork, it's not Newberry Park, it's not Loudoun Valley, it's Herriman High School, 3 years in a row on the podium, and we know there's a lot more where that came from. Whereas this year was potentially a victory tour, next year's going to be a revenge tour on everybody in the United States for the group that still has eligibility, and for all the seniors. Guys, your contributions and your legacy will be forever at Herriman High School. Congratulations.
Thank you.